Hello everyone, I'm Aman and welcome back to Master Chess. Today, I'm going to show you a game played between Magnus Carlsen and Ayaan Nepomniachtchi in the semi-finals of the Magnus Carlsen Invitational Knockout. Here, the world champion is white and the winner of the first semis, Ayaan Nepomniachtchi, is black. Magnus opens with the move 1 d4, knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to c3 and d5. Can you name which opening is this? Yes, you are correct. A popular web series is made on this, The Queen's Gambit Declined, on Netflix. C takes g5, e takes g5, the exchange variation, bishop to g5, pinning the knight, and bishop to b4. The standard move in this position is bishop to e7, but Nepo tries something different with bishop to b4. And now, after a thought of 4 minutes, Magnus Carlsen here plays the move queen to a4. Now guys, in the Queen's Gambit, it is always advised not to put your knight on c6 because then you block the c3 pawn and later you have to move your knight and play c3, which was on a master move. But the move queen a4 provokes knight to c6 because then otherwise your bishop would be lost. Therefore, knight to c6, e3, h6 trying to kick away the bishop, takes, and now knight to e2. The idea is h3 and after takes, the d5 pawn would be weak. Now you might be thinking why not go a3 directly? Because in a3 there would be takes and maybe this kind of a structure was not what Magnus wanted. Therefore, knight to e2 first, knight to e2 first castles, a3 takes and now knight to e7, just defending the pawn and maybe planning c6. Bishop to e2, c6, short castles, knight to f5, and now b4 going for the minority attack, knight to h4, trying to somewhat open lines against the king, king to h1, queen to g6, and there is a mate threat on g2 and this is not something which Magnus misses. Therefore g3, knight to f5, and now b5 launching the attack. Now this pawn is not left hanging because this pawn is protected by the queen, so the queen can't take later. Therefore h5, Nepo wants to attack down the king side. And now bishop takes b takes c6, and rook to g1, h4, g takes h4. And in this position the idea is not to take this pawn because otherwise our queen would be hanging then. Therefore, the idea behind sacrificing was queen to f6 to weaken the white king even further. h5, Magnus manages to defend the pawn, but the structure of his king side structure is very weak. Now c5, knight takes d5, and in this position the computer thinks that c5 is an inaccurate move because it leaves the d5 pawn hanging. Knight takes d5 and now bishop to b7. The queen is not left hanging because this knight is pinned to the king. Bishop to f3. Here you can't take it easy and move your knight to h4 thinking it's a good move because then this knight would be no longer pinned and you would lose your queen with check, so you don't even have time to capture this bishop and then this rook after it blocks. So knight takes f6 check was not possible now. Therefore, bishop takes g5, and rook a to d8 attacking the bishop, queen to c6 defending it and also attacking the pinned and also attacking the queen because the g pawn is pinned and the queen would be left hanging if black plays any simple move. Queen takes c6, bishop takes c6, and now c takes g4, rook to g5 attacking the knight, knight to e7. The bishop is attacked, so he pulls it back with bishop to f3, d takes e3, f takes e3, and rook to d3. Now rook to e5 and knight to c8. The idea is maybe going to b6 later or e6 and going to c4, which would be a good square for the black knight. a4, as you can see there is a weakness on a7 and maybe Magnus is trying to fix that weakness with a5 and a6. Knight to d6 as planned, trying to put the knight on c4, rook c1 stopping that move, and now rook to b8, placing the rook on the open file. And now king to g2, a good move because if you think now the king is not doing anything But maybe if you imagine a position where the one pair of rooks are off the board, then the white king would be much active compared to this black king. Now rook b to b3, rook to c6, king to f8. It's not a good move according to the computer, because the better move would have been king to s7 and going g6, king g7 later, because after king to f8, there is no way you can, after king to f8 you can't come to e7 because the rook is protecting that. a5, as planned later in the game, trying to fix the weakness on a7. f6, attacking the rook. Rook to e6, the knight is attacked twice. Knight to f5 and h6. Magnus Carlsen here sacrifices the pawn just to avoid activity of the knight. Knight takes on h6. Here you might think, why is knight h4 not a good move? It is a playable move, and the computer suggests one line after knight to f1, knight takes, and h7, rook to d8 check, king to e2, rook to d2, takes and takes. This is one line where the position is roundabout equals, white is slightly better. Therefore, knight takes on h6, rook to c8 check, king to f7, rook to a6, and now rook to d2 check, king to g3, knight to f5, check, king to f4, and rook to f2. Nepo argues that if you take my knight, I am going to take the bishop with check. Rook takes on a7, and now king to g6, rook c to c7, king to h6, king takes f5, and rook takes e3, because this bishop is not going anywhere. Rook to c5, g6 check. Here rook to c5 was a huge blunder by Magnus, because he missed g6 check, and the king would have to walk up the board where it could get trapped in a mating net. g6 check, king to g4, and rook f takes f3. Now there's a mate threat, because if you play any simple move like a6, they can come f4 check, and after king h5, rook h3 is gonna be mate. Therefore, in this position, after rook takes and f3, Magnus Carlsen resigned the game, and Nepomniachtchi won it, because it's completely winning position for black, and to stop the mate for white, he needs to sacrifice much material, and that wouldn't be enough to win this game. So friends, I hope you liked this video. If you did like the video, then don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section below, and do subscribe to Master Chess.